Just before midnight last night, officers with our East Division responded to, or they were dispatched to the Walmart at Speedway and Kolb for the report of a shooting. When officers first arrived on scene, they located an adult male in the parking lot on the ground with obvious signs of gunshot trauma. Officers immediately began rendering aid to that individual using their individual first aid kits until Tucson Fire was able to move in and the scene was safe for them to come in. Tucson Fire took over medical treatment, but unfortunately he was pronounced deceased on scene. This is a young adult male. Officers received some initial information just while they were trying to figure out exactly what happened. They received information that an SUV had fled the scene shortly after the shooting, and they had a pretty good description of that vehicle. Officers began canvassing the area around here looking for that vehicle. They put it out citywide for this vehicle, and officers did locate a matching vehicle in the 8600 block of East Old Spanish Trail. They approached that vehicle. It was occupied. There were several people inside that vehicle, and those people have been detained. Based on the information that the officers got, the preliminary information that they had, they were able to ID the deceased male here, and they ID'd the individuals who were in the vehicle on Old Spanish Trail. Those individuals do have some gang affiliation, some gang ties, so right now our gang detectives are out here right now. That's who they called out to continue the investigation. Gang detectives have been out here for a while. They've been out here all morning trying to figure out what took place, how that vehicle's involved, and those individuals are involved. And what they've determined so far, still kind of early stages even though they've been out here all night, what they've determined so far is the SUV had been in the parking lot earlier. At least one of the individuals in that SUV, which one of those was our deceased male, got out of the SUV, approached another vehicle. There was a male sitting in a vehicle in the parking lot. So our deceased male got out, approached that male. There was some sort of altercation. Shots were fired. The male from the SUV was struck and died on scene. The other male that was in the car, our victim, stuck around. He is speaking with detectives right now, cooperating with the investigation. So it's going to be a little bit because they're still interviewing the people that were in the vehicle, our victim in this vehicle here. So it's going to be a little bit. We have not notified next of kin for the deceased male here, so we'll probably have some more information on that a little bit later this afternoon. But I can tell you deceased is a young adult male.
And you said around midnight?
It was minutes before midnight when the first call came in.
So you said that the man who died, he was in an SUV, and
right?
Which someone in that silver car, the one.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And that person was not shot at all.
I'm sorry?
That person was not shot at all?
No, we do know there was an actual altercation, some sort of struggle, I believe, but all we know is the man inside that vehicle was approached. He was sitting here inside. Another young adult male was sitting in the vehicle when he was approached. There was a struggle, an altercation, shots were fired, and that's when the guy was struck.
So that person in the silver car was not related to the gang ties?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
That person in the silver car was not related at all to the gang ties?
No, I don't believe so, no.
Is it some kind of carjacking?
It could be. That's something they're looking at. That's definitely a possibility. We don't know if it was a carjacking or if there was some other reason for an altercation, and that's part of what gang detectives are looking at.
Can you describe what Walmart looked like at that time? Was it busy? Were there lots of witnesses?
This is a 24-hour Walmart. It doesn't really have anything to do with the Walmart. It doesn't appear. I mean, this was a person sitting in a vehicle. This SUV rolled up, and we don't know why that SUV or the occupants of that SUV were targeting that specific vehicle or that person. We don't know. It doesn't appear right now that they know each other, but we don't know that. It's going to take some time for us to figure that out.
Gotcha. And the people in the other car, how many? Like the ones that were caught?
I'm just going to leave it at multiple right now, just in case there's other witnesses out there. We want to see what they actually saw and not what they see on television. So, because there were a lot of people out here, not a ton, but this is a pretty active Walmart, so there's a lot of people here. And in case there was somebody out there, we want them, or out in the parking lot when this took place, we want them to come forward with what they actually know, what they saw, what they heard, and not what they read in the paper or see on TV. So if there was anybody out, and with that, if there was anybody out here that saw or heard anything, we're asking you to please call 88-CRIME. Sometimes that smallest piece of information can be rather large in conjunction with what detectives already have. So if you saw or heard anything, please call 88-CRIME. You can remain anonymous.
And the people in that SUV, you said they're in custody?
I'm sorry?
You said they're in custody?
The people in the SUV are detained right now for questioning.
Okay.
We want to know what they knew about what took place, why the other individual got out of the vehicle, and that should answer a lot of questions about why they were here in the first place. But we won't know that until later on.
And Walmart's operating as normal. You're about to clear out and about.
Yes, and this is, I mean, just for people watching at home, this was not inside Walmart. It was not near the front doors of Walmart. It was kind of in the middle back parking lot. So yeah, the Walmart's open. Okay.
I think that's good. Thank you.